important stuff. All right. Good morning. First off, as Tiff said, and I want to encourage you, please get your cameras on. Here's why. You're going to get more engaged. Now, this isn't a conversation of me talking or anything. This is the people that were actually at EXPCON and action items that they're bringing forward. Decidedly, this is a smaller version than I'm sure they would love to present. So rules of engagement today, we're going to go about 5 minutes max per person. Obviously, whoever's speaking can kind of go a little longer if they choose to, but remember, we want to make sure we give everybody the opportunities. And for people that were at EXPCon, for the team, everybody that was out there, God bless y'all. That was just amazing. What we want to cover today is items that will actually make a difference in other people's business. I'll finish up with it, but I'm going to lead off with, well, first off, if you're able to do it, show of hands of everybody who was at EXPCon. Just raise your hand so I've got it raised up. If you can use the avatar to raise it, that's cool. And Davina, good morning, Davina. Hey, Mateo. So we will definitely have some great speakers on here. All right. It was amazing. It always is. It's great when we all get together. We're surrounded by people that are just incredible. There were so many people that I emulate to, that I want to be more like, and we're able to rub elbows with them, have conversations with them. In fact, there's quite a few of those people that will be bringing back to our weekly meetings, our daily meetings, as guest speakers, because they're just mind-blowingly cool. And here's the cool thing. When you participate in this, when you participate in these events, it impacts your business. There's no way it can't. It fully energizes you. I'm just going to go right to it. Who's first person? Show of hands. Who wants to talk first? Raise your hand if you got something you want to share. 5 minutes. If you were at EXPCon, you have the floor. And if nobody raises their hands, I'm actually just going to call on Ariel because, well, he's awesome. He has a business in, I don't know, 17 countries at this point. Really, it's like 4 states, I believe. Continues to grow. And here's the part that's most amazing. Y'all might not know this about Ariel, but I want to tell you this as well, because this just screams leadership. He's actually building his partners, his team, to have better team leaders and encouraging everybody in his real estate group, big expansion team. He wants them to build their own business. It's just unbelievable. If you have a chance, spend some time with him. He is truly inspiring. I couldn't help but give you that kind of build up, Ariel, because I mean, I am just completely impressed. You had like 17 or 18 of your partners. It seemed like there was a lot, at least 10 there, which was amazing. Would you lead us off with what you found there to be kind of impactful that would help people and start this off? I know you got a busy day. I want to respect your time.
Sure, man. I don't know what all that buildup was for, and just like everyone else here, but I was definitely blessed this year to drag 10 of them with me. So I was very happy to do that. Thank you so much for introducing me. I know a lot of you guys on the call here. I can't wait to hear what you guys learned as well. For those of you who attended, there's a bunch here. To me, there were two things that really stay in my mind even after the event. You know, because a lot of these training events is a lot of hype, but if you don't get any substance out of it, then that's a problem. And one of the things that I like about the shareholder summit and the EXP convention is there's always substance. Otherwise I wouldn't pay the fee, you know? So I absolutely loved how much substance I got out of it. One of the trending themes that I heard was off-market listings. I mean, almost every class that I attended, all they talked about was off-market listings, and how do you find the bride for the groom and all that. And to be honest, I never thought of off-market listings as my own past sales. Those are off-market listings. So I learned that I could definitely use that as leverage whenever I have a buyer. Just go back to my past sales and find that property that matches the description of this buyer that I have. Call my past buyer, which is now AKA a future seller, and just marry the two. So I learned about that a lot during that time. I also learned that all we talk about is I should do this, I should do that. I should do this, I should do that, but we never actually implement it. And that's a problem that I think everyone here has, including myself. We all planned, or we should do this, or we should do that, so we should do this, we should do that, but we don't really actually put it in action. And that's a problem for every single one of us here. Stop with the should, and let's actually get it, make it happen, and put action on our plans. Going back to the off-market listings, the other thing that I learned, not only our past clients off-market listings, right? Because that is a listing that's off-market, but also utilizing tools like Remine, REMINE, which is part of our dues. We're a member of Remine at no cost to us, to really find properties that are off-market that you could potentially sell to your buyer, or you could just potentially farm for a listing that way. So obviously, you know, here on Zoom, we'll be able to talk about it, but you definitely should attend any trainings that Remine gives, or any training that's anyone out there should be is doing on Remine. It's a tool that gives you phone numbers, emails, you know, at no cost to you guys, for sellers that are off market right now. So those are the two things that I really learned. Thank you, George, for letting.
Well, I appreciate that. And, you know, here's the part that is really interesting. Leo Pajera is the director of vision, or the chief vision officer for EXP, and he actually created Remine. So, you know, it's cool that he built that for everybody because of exactly what you just spoke of. And the best part is it's available to everybody. You can go into your local MLS and you can actually select Remine, and there's tutorials in there. And what Ariel spoke about is something you might want to consider. I know there's more coming on that. We'll cover that at a later time because it's a really important topic. But even if you're going to YouTube, you're going to find some substance to that. And if you have an opportunity and somebody's teaching on it, by all means, I encourage you to get engaged. Remine is a great tool. Ariel, thank you very, very much. I truly appreciate it. Anybody else that was at EXPCon that wants to share what they picked up, please raise your hands. Just keep your hand up. I'll call on you as you go. If not, I'm just going to call on people and get them off the board so that I can do it. Bobby Baldor, Bobby's lives literally right there. And one of my very, very best friends. I know he's got a crazy schedule. So Bobby, I'm just gonna throw your ass under the bus. You're next because I also know you've got someplace you got to go. So give us what you got and then get the hell out of here. You're probably muted. There you are.
Good morning.
He's more pretty than smart.
I missed the intro, and I actually don't know what's been covered so far.
Okay. We just had Ariel conversation. What we're looking for is 5 minutes or a little bit less, a little more if you feel you need it, but somewhere around the 5-minute mark.
Bobby, you better not talk about what I talked about. You better not talk about what I talked about. You were late, so don't talk about the same thing I talked about.
Well, if he is, I'll just mute him, Ariel, because I mean, we don't need to hear that again.
All right,
you're good. You know what Ariel spoke of. What did you pick up? What was the thing that made you go, holy crap, I'm really glad I was there? Share a little bit about that if you could.
Personally, the thing about going to these events is it's very easy to get lost in the weeds. And before you blink an eye, you could lose 3 days without any substance, even though there is so much substance there. The reason for that is because there is so much, it almost becomes a little overwhelming if you don't have a plan. I went in there with a plan. I had a few things that were very important to me. And you know what that meant was I didn't spend time with the people from our group, the people that were there with us, because they had their own agenda. Ariel was a little upset with me. He wanted me to hold his hand, and we wanted to touch and stuff throughout every session, but I had to let him be on his own for a little bit so I can do the things that I felt were important for me. Deep was upset. They both wanted me in the middle, and they stayed together. So they had the buddy system. It was real cute. But I decided that there were a few things that for this event, I looked at the agenda, and I'll highlight them. There were specifically 3 things. There were AI, military networking, and investments. And those are some things that I personally am focusing on. So starting with the AI, there were a couple of sessions that were quick breakouts that had great information, very actionable items if you were there. There is going to be some more information that comes out about some of that stuff here in the near future, and George and I will bring that up. But there was also a one sponsored, by a company called Offers. I didn't know anything about it. I went to check it out, and it was really cool. I'm interested in learning more about that company, their product, the services that they provide, the costs involved, and how to bring that back to my team. So that was one aspect. I don't know anything about AI, and I felt really motivated to learn. I mean, if I don't learn it, I'm going to be, that guy who's, still on AOL or something. I don't want to be that. I need to learn how to, keep my business going with the way that the trends are moving and what's going to be most successful. Also, as a veteran, I wanted to be more engaged with the military networking. I wanted to be involved with what they're doing throughout the country. I also wanted to immerse myself into the referral programs offered just strictly within the military network, and advertising to bases and different things like that. So I spent a lot of time on anything that was military. I actually was there at. And then the last one is the one that actually blew my mind, was investment certification. It's the newest certification offered by EXP. We all know that there is a ton of certification, whether it's express offers or whatever they all are. I've got them all. I went through them all. Cool thing is when you go to one of these events, you do the fast track. Instead of having to have multiple days of the classes, you get to sit in a class and within a few hours pick up on the information. But I've done this several times for different certifications, and I was bored halfway through, so I just literally sat there to make sure I got the credit and got the certification. That was very different this time around with the investment training. The investment training certification was scheduled for 3 hours, ended up going almost 3.5 hours. And I will tell you, for somebody with me with severe ADD, if you're not capturing my attention and keeping my attention, I'm gone. Mentally, I'm gone. I'm ready to bounce out of the seat. Well, for 3.5 hours, I was lost in my notes, in taking pictures of what was on the screen. I opened up every tab I could on my phone so that I could not close those tabs, bring them back to Orlando, revisit them. And how they kept my attention was, hey, EXP is doing this, and this is very investor driven. In this business, especially down markets, you have to list to last. So we're always talking about how to chase and find and lead gen for buyers, but what are you doing to really go after sellers? And investment properties is a way that you can really target investments, and it's typically both. You're buying and you're selling, you're buying, you're selling. And they had all these companies that are starting to partner with EXP come up, and it wasn't a single speaker. They had somebody basically moderating and say, now the CEO of this company is coming up. And all of a sudden the CEO, and he brought his COO or whatever, and they're up there for about 15, 20 minutes, literally giving you all the information about what their company does, how they work, what market share they're capturing in the business, and how they're bringing that as an opportunity to EXP agents. So I'm sitting there, how do I sign up? How do I register? How to learn more about this? Blah, blah, blah. I'm doing this. And by the time I'm looking up, the next company, completely different company, is on stage. And now I'm like, okay, my mindset refocuses, and I'm like, okay, now what's this company? So I felt that because I went to EXPCON with a very specific plan, I knew ahead of time, I'm going to stay on my track of the things I'm interested in: AI, military, and investment. And I didn't deviate from that. And because I did, this was the most successful as far as bringing things home event of all the 5 years I've been in. I've been to all of them: EXPCON, shareholder, some of the other ones. This one probably had to do with my personal action, my own plan of action and focus. I went in, got what I needed, and was able to bring it back. And these are things that now I'm introducing to my team. I'm introducing them, I'm doing them myself, learning them, and now bringing them into my team, because there was so much. And I sat there for a second thinking, how do I not know this stuff? How is it that I'm not doing this? How is it I haven't heard of this company? I'm not signed up, and holy shit, this could help. And if all of these things help you with one extra deal a month, that alone changes how the market shift affects your personal business. And that's what I got out of it. And there was so much of it. And, so a lot of these things, I've got a plan in place with George to bring back to the market, in a different setting than this. Was that 5 minutes?
Thank you, Bobby, very much. I appreciate that. I do. And what I heard really, really clearly is you went there with the focus and you came back with more than you thought you'd get. Is that fair?
That's correct.
Yeah, and I just want to share this. Lizette, you're up next. Thank you very much for raising your hand. I want to share this just on a couple things for y'all to see. This is at your wheelhouse, your fingertips. I'm going to talk about luxury in a couple minutes when it's my turn to speak. Can y'all see the screen? You should be able to see that. Right on. If I type in LUX, luxury conversations, luxury agents, luxury referral group, there is so much. If I type in investments or I'm sorry, invest. International investing, Florida Investment Exchange, investing 101, rentals and flips. The reason I bring this up is we have so much resources. You, like Bobby did, he said, I'm going to grab it and I'm going to take it. If you have a good idea of where you're going to go, you are ready. The tools you need are here. The people to help you kind of find out what you're looking for are here. Lizette, you had your hand up. I'm going to turn it over to you. Let's keep it 5 minutes at the most. And what did you come across that was just amazing?
Oh, good. No, I have a timer too to make sure.
I got you.
So, yeah, Desiree, she's laughing. So, for me, same thing. I think when I went there, I wanted to focus on, the speakers, the sessions that we're in, and focusing on what could I bring onto my team. But more importantly, bringing to the team also, I think the biggest theme is also making sure that I'm getting what I need so I can provide for the rest, right? As a leader. So that was a big focus for me. And the beauty about this too is I wasn't as connected to the military network. I went to the breakfast and intentionally, unintentionally. So I love this part, and I actually wanted to share it now. If you're military and you're not connected in some way, you don't have to be in the service. You could have a family member, anyway connected. You should be in that network. We are by far the best company. What I realized in EXPCON, we are by far I think we represent well, like catering to the military than any other real estate company, hands down. I'm telling you, hands down. And I was in a mastermind also for military spouses. So there's a subgroup, which I am part of now. And I feel so blessed to be part of, because guess what? The conversations were different. By the way, some of us here, and it's part of my business, is what I was focusing on. If, I have to work a business as a caregiver and taking care of 3 kids at home. Like some of us here are single moms and things. So it's a different focus. And learning other military spouses that are having VAs, helping their kids do homework, handling stuff with the teachers, reporting back to the moms, like they have VAs for their personal stuff. These conversations are not common, and these are things that they're doing, and they're running really successful businesses in real estate at EXP. So I just want to put that out there, because I went there, my business might be a little bit different than a lot of people, but at the same time, the support is there. So I just want to put, that was one of the biggest nuggets I took as far as support and learning for myself. The AI theme all across the board, the same thing. Learning the systems and tools and all the different widgets. I mean, I even have a screenshot that Veronica Figueroa shared with like all the different tools that are there for AI. And that's something now that I came back, I'm already, interviewing companies that are be able to set that up. By the way, that's another thing I've learned in EXP. If you reach out to these people, they will give you a game plan. They will share what they have. Like I literally messaged these people on the stage while they were talking, and like a couple hours later, they were sending me their presentations. They were sending me all their things, so that way I can implement it in our businesses and people that are in my organization. So, I mean, for the biggest thing for me was that the AI, and also the investment part of it. That's a big thing now. I mean, if I've been kind of doing this past year with the investment and the wholesaling, but I think it was just the affirmation that, we do have to kind of start stepping into understanding investing and what that looks like for ourselves and for the people we serve as well. So for me, those are the biggest nuggets. And I think, and also team building as leaders here, we're building teams because we're going to be here to help others not leave the business. I think that was a big thing too, talking about how the market is going to get a little bit tougher, so having teams to support agents that, might need a little bit of hand holding and making sure we have the right structures in the teams.
Love it. Liz, I really, really appreciate what you just said. I got the military out of that. I got AI out of that. Obviously, investing is huge. And so we're getting a central theme from this. And I know it's going to impact your business. I know it's going to impact Bobby's, and quite honestly, with you and Bobby and Ariel and all of us, it impacts everybody, because as Liz Quinones just said, EXP is about a collaboration, not about competition. And that's the biggest takeaway. So let's do it. Mateo, you're up. I know you're driving, so hopefully we'll get good reception.
Before Mateo talks, Lizette, I just want to tell you, I have immense amount of respect for you and what you do to support military, having a Marine husband, and everything that you're going through because of his experience. It's another level that most people don't understand, and the fact that you face it every single day and go out and run a successful business, I really commend you and applaud you for that. And thank you for that.
Oh, you're welcome. And before
said.
super quickly in my 30 seconds that I might get, thank you for that. If you guys have any veterans in need, please reach out to me. I actually went to see a veteran Tuesday night, a Marine that lost his job with a DUI, a whole mess. Mateo copied me on Orlando Mastermind for resources, and I connected with his landlord, and his landlord, they cut off his phone, no money. So he wanted resources. So I actually went out to see that guy, connect him with somebody in the community. I paid his past bill like $90. I told him, you need a phone. I told him, you need a phone. So just have your phone, because he was walking to the VA. He was walking to Labor Ready every day. What I'm saying is, please, if you guys know any veterans, please reach out and let me know. I can't do it. I will find somebody that can do it.
Thanks, Liz, very much. Very much. That is awesome. And that's why you're the cultural ambassador at your last brokerage, for just that reason. Thank you. With respect to everybody's time, Mateo, if you're on, your mic's on, I'm going to turn it to you. 5 minutes or under, please.
Yes, I think so. Yeah, perfect. Yeah, this was my first EXPCON. It was quite the experience. I was able to go over there because a lot of people can contribute for me to be there, including people from the GPS group and my friends. So it is a little bit overwhelming when you're getting there, because there's so much content that you say, oh my God, all these new information, all these new classes about everything that is coming up in the market, where are we going? So, but once you decide, hey, all these classes are really good, but what is important to me and my business, then you can narrow down the classes. For me, what I'm really good at is marketing and business planning and all that. So I choose my classes for that. And the class that was more important to me is that you have to search for yourself in Google and see what people are seeing about you. There are eight profiles that are the most important. You have your Google business account. If they Google you and they don't see a business, that you have a business, it is really hard for Google to recommend you. Then we have also Instagram, which is really useful for real estate. It has to be optimized. We have Facebook. Then we have realtor.com. Then we have Zillow, and then we have a couple of others. But they also included YouTube. So for me, optimizing all my social media platforms when somebody is looking for a real estate agent or or I made a contact with somebody and they are searching for me because they're going to search you. Let me tell you a story. I just had an appointment just before leaving to EXPCON. I had a listing appointment. And when I was sitting down in the table, getting everything together to talk about the business plan and everything for the listing, I hear my voice in the kitchen. And I say, what's going on? There was the cousin of the owner of the house listening to one of my videos. So they are on YouTube. So they are searching for who you are, what do you do, if you're constant. So what they did is they pick up a couple of agents from the crowd, and they did they did a search for them, and some of very successful agents that have been in the industry for 20 years, when you look at them online, they don't look professional at all. They don't look active. They don't look, they have built a business of referrals and word of mouth, but they have forgotten about the perception of new clients, of new technology, of new people and new generations. So I'm going to implement all of that. And just like I said, I had the opportunity to also be in different groups, but the group that really spoke to me was the LGBTQ Alliance. So we went together, we talked, I got to meet a lot of really smart people or with a plan for inclusion, for diversity, for everybody to have a place to work. And I made amazing connections for a long, long time. I haven't felt at home in a long time. And I did feel at home when I was at EXPCON. I found people like me, people like feel like me, think like me, that understand what I'm going through. And I'm super excited for that. Yes, so I'm super happy for that. Those are my nuggets.
Awesome. So a couple of things that you brought up that I thought were really important. I'm going to start with what is the most important, and that's the inclusiveness, which is amazing. There is, and not just for you, Mateo, but for every single one of us, we have something where we're like, oh, I wish I had more people like me that had the same requirements, needs, interests, and desires that I do. And the fact is, they're there. You have to spend a little bit of time and effort to seek them out. Mateo, I'm glad you came. Thanks for sharing that. I don't want to miss on the fact that you're talking about how you look on social media, the importance of that. Y'all hear this, and there is actually a workplace, there's groups that talk about that on a regular basis, and you do need to seek that out. I just searched Jackie and I on social media, and we've got some work to do. Google your name and see what happens. That's some really good information. And for the sake of time, I'm going to, yeah, go ahead. I'm real short on time, Mateo.
Absolutely. If they want me to help them with their social media, just text me and we can start looking at what you need to do, and I can give you the plan for you to fix your social media.
George can use a little. George just needs a little Photoshop. That's all.
That's, oh God, he needs a whole lot of Photoshop. Mateo, thank you very much. Mateo, spell your last name for everybody, please.
R-E-Z-A, Reza.
Reza, R-E-Z-A. Mateo the Extraordinary is his tag name, but it's Mateo Reza. You can find him on Workplace Chat, and I tell you folks, he's very good at what he does. Davinia, good morning, and thank you for coming. God, it was great seeing all of you all out there, but I turn the floor to you, my friend. What did you pick up?
Good morning. Good morning. It's Viviana. Good morning.
Hey, Gringo. Okay, Gringo. I don't even say Jackie right.
So good morning. Good morning. I'm very grateful that I was able to go to EXPCON, but I had a OMG moment at EXPCON. At my previous brokerage, I had been to family reunion, mega camps, 6 times bold, all the 9 yards. But EXPCON blew my mind out to the point where it feels if we stay quiet about this company, it doesn't matter if other people think you're just a recruiter, you're not. You need to share the awesomeness of this company and bring other people to the light of the world of real estate, because that's what EXPCON is. EXPCON is here to stay, and it's a life-changing company, applying all the systems like AI, and the leadership is not just, it's not just a cliche of collaboration. They are there for real. I'm very grateful to be able to have been able to speak to Glenn Sanford closely. Thank you to our leadership of Lisette, and being able to be so part of this amazing company. It was an OMG moment for me.
Viviana, that is awesome, and I am truly grateful that I got your name right this time properly. Did I do what Gringo did? Okay. You hit on something that was really cool. So how was that? I mean, you had a chance to talk to the CEO of the company. Was it impossible to have a conversation with him? Did you have to wait in his waiting room? Did you find it there's some transparency here for everybody?
So that's the OMG moment about this company. I have only been in this company for 8 months, and your leadership, Tom's coaching, of course, Lisette is amazing leader, and being able to have amazing people up there, like also the list team helping me has been, has thrown my business, and not only my business, my person as a person, growing to a different level. And I'm excited to see what 2024 is going to bring on.
I know it'll be amazing for you. The fact that you're there, it's crazy that the energy just goes through the roof. You actually find yourself going, holy crap, I can do this. You see what others have done, and it shows that it's a path. It's that 4-minute miles. You know what I mean? Wasn't it great seeing all those people that were achieving at a level where you could vision yourself doing the exact same thing? Did you get that feeling?
I did, and I'm so ecstatic and excited that I have shared with other colleagues that are not on this side that this is the place where they need to be. And I don't care if they think I'm a recruiter. I'm not. I'm sharing something good. And if they don't see the opportunity, it's their loss. But I need to tell everybody of the awesomeness on the other side. That's my responsibility.
I love that. I think, and that is our job, because it's ultimately agents helping agents. That's what's written right back here. But think about it from this perspective as well. For everybody watching, the action item that Diviana just brought to us here is, if there's somebody in EXP, and there is, that is doing something that you want to learn more about, do the hard thing. Pick up the phone, send them a message through workplace chat or text, and say, hey, I would love to pick your brain for 5 minutes. I think you're amazing, and I am completely in awe of what you're doing. And I'd like to know where you got started and how you did this, because I'm modeling after you. They will help you. And that is how things happen. And you just figured out the golden ticket. This is a transparent company where people share ideas and collaborate. We've heard that again and again and again. God bless you for saying that. Thank you very much. I got to put this out. This is kind of a PSA. First off, prayers for everybody in Israel and what they are going through. And everybody out there, please be very aware that this is a day where you need to keep your eyes open. I don't normally go into what's going on in the news, but it has a lot of people very concerned. And as I said, this is going to get, I think, very, very ugly in the Middle East. Prayers going out to everybody in Israel, because that shit should never happen. Anyway, I just wanted to throw that out there. Y'all be wary of what you see today. There is talk of jihad, but anyway, God bless you guys. Be safe. That's my public service announcement. Tom McNamara, good to see you, brother. Tom was there. We didn't see a whole lot of Tom, because Tom was in every single class he could find and was devouring information, which was phenomenal. Tom, you want to share a couple of your ahas? And Krista, if you're good with that, my dear, I'd love to have you go afterwards. Cool. Yeah, thank you.
I don't know if I attended every single class I possibly could, but I was in quite a few of them and learned quite a bit from the formal presentations. But I told George this. I don't know if you thought I was kidding or not, George, but the most valuable thing that I learned was sitting at a bar talking to an agent that I didn't know. And so the first thing is, I connected with her. She's in Hawaii, and one of her teammates actually is originally from the Orlando area and is referring me business now. So because she was referring it to some agents that she didn't know, and they weren't doing a good job, so she's now referring me business, which is phenomenal. But that isn't the lesson learned, other than talk to people, right? Literally talk to people. I struck up a conversation with her because I was drinking at a bar waiting for the next class, and she was too. So we had something in common, right? So but what she told me she's doing that's working is something that I think she said she learned from a Tom Ferry or a Mike Ferry class that she took. And it's working for her. I have not engaged this yet, but I am about to. So I'm going to kind of show you it real quick because it works off of your phone, right? So if you've been in the business for any length of time, you've sold a bunch of houses, hopefully, and you know the buyers, right, of different houses. So every day, take 1, 2, 3, depending on how many you have and how busy you are. Take a couple of those houses, pull them up on Zillow, like I did right here, right? I know it's kind of hard to see, but pull them up on Zillow and take a snapshot of that Zillow thing and do it from your phone because you're going to text them. And what you're going to text them, and I can put this in the chat if you want, but I've got the text written here. It's, hey there, name. I was in your neighborhood and thought of you. Or I was doing an evaluation on a property in your neighborhood and I thought of you, right? So whatever way you want to do it. And I looked at your property on Zillow just out of curiosity, and this is what I saw, right? And you're attaching that document or that snapshot. And you say, now we all know that A in Zillow stands for accuracy, right? So you're letting them know that it's BS, right? And I have my thoughts on this, but what do you think? Now that sounds really simple and not effective. And she showed me the results that she was getting. And about 90% of the time she was getting a response back. And about 50% of the time that response was something to the effect of, great to hear from you. Glad you were thinking of me. Yeah, I was looking at that myself, or, some sort of engagement on that property. And so it's not always about making it like, where's the next opportunity, but it's about reminders of who we are and what we do, reminders that we know you and we care about you and we love you, right? Our customers, and reminders that they should be bringing their conversations to us. So, and she showed me the results, and she's only been doing it a few months, and she's actually got 3 properties under listing or under contract in those 3 months. So if that helps you sell 1 more house a month, right? I mean, 1 house a month is a pretty good income for a lot of us, and 1 more house a month is even better. So that's
well, and I love the fact, Tom, it's totally actionable. Everybody on this call can literally put that to use right now. And I'm going to challenge y'all for everything we've talked about. Ari was talking about off-market properties, and we talked about Google business and everything else, but I want to challenge everybody here to pick 2 people that they sold a home to, or 2 people that they know, and go with that. I was doing a value for a property that's going to be put on the market in the future. And I thought of you in the area. I thought of you. So I pulled this up and send it to them, even if they're in their database. Let's have everybody commit. Show of hands, the people I can see, who will commit to do that to 2 people, something simple. And Tom, I'm going to ask you to text that, what you copy and paste that into the chat box for us, please. Yep. Can you do that?
I'm going to do that.
I'll make sure it's available. I'm going to do it
on my phone. I'll put it in the chat here in a second.
If you had an iPhone, you could actually copy it there and then put it right on your Mac. It copies over, but
yeah, no,
but
that's
you
what
don't.
I'm. That's what I'm doing. I'm just paying attention. I don't need a Mac.
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah, actually, you really kind of do. It'll change your world, and I've got proof. But anyway, that's the Mac PC argument that goes on. All right, so we've got definitely Miss Krista to have a conversation, but don't leave yet, because I'm going to talk about 2 things that are important, and they're action items: listings and luxury. That's coming up when we're almost done. Miss Krista, good morning, my friend.
Hi, good morning, everybody. Good. Thank you. Thanks for having me. So this was my first EXPCON. I went to 2 shareholders before, and like everybody said, it's a little bit overwhelming. It's huge. So, there's so much to do that sometimes you don't know where to go because you want to go to everything. So my takeaways, and I'm not going to talk about what you're going to talk about because it's luxury, but Brendan Burchard was our keynote speaker. And he and EXP gave us a 1 year of growthday.com/EXP. Make sure you guys log into that. EXP is paying for 1 whole year of Brendan Burchard's performance habits app. He's basically a performance coach. And one thing that he kept repeating is we are all just lazy and just want to be average and complain. So raising your ambition will, it's something that you need to wake up every day with. Raise your ambition, honor the struggle, because in this market that we're in, it is a struggle, but just don't focus on it. Just do what you need to do every day. We're teaching you, and EXP has so many tools to help you. You just have to do it and jump all in. So that was Brendan Burchard. His keynote speech was amazing. And then I loved AI. I mean, there's so much about AI that I'm not doing. I was kind of scared about it, and I'm like, no, I don't need it for my business. And this conference really opened up my eyes about how much workflow, newsletters, how I can schedule my social media. I sometimes think I don't have ideas, and AI will give you a year worth of reels and TikToks and content if you actually teach it how you want to be presented. So AI was huge for me this year. And then just going back to the basics, I want to say, I don't know if you know, Rick Geha passed away. Just literally 2 days ago. He was a speaker and an icon expert, and I saw him, and he talked about farming and forming relationships, connection and passion, and how his son, who was in his mid-30s, was going into the business with him. He door knocks 5 days for 5 days before an open house, and that's how he built a huge farm in Fremont, California. He was so real, and I'm so sad to hear that he passed, because when we saw him there, full of energy. So I just say to people, you don't know tomorrow. You don't know how long you're going to be on this earth. So why not go all in today? Stop complaining, start doing. And one thing, role playing. Tina Call and Phil Han had a role playing session. I loved it. It was amazing. And just role playing about door knocking, talking to your buyers, talking to your sellers. So I went into the role play room yesterday with Phil in the World, and there were 11 people in that role play room. And I'm thinking to myself, I get asked all the time with agents, how do we talk to people? What do we say? We have the rooms for you there. Show up. That's my little spiel today.
No, that's terrific. And I keep hearing it. Y'all hear it. If you want it, it's there. The only reason it's not in your world is you're not looking hard enough for it. But I promise you it's here. And you mentioned, I have to say this, Rick's a very good friend of mine, Rick. We've known each other for years. It's funny because I had a chance to give him a big old hug. We were in the Explorer room together. And I'm like, Rick, he's like, George, big hug. And his son was there. So I got to brag on how amazing he was and impactful to his son, and really showcase what is the awesomeness of Rick Geha. And unfortunately, massive heart attack took his life on Friday. A couple days ago, which is just a shame. He will be missed. And boy, that boy could wear some suits. Thank you very much for sharing. What I did take away from what you said is, again, that it's there. We just have to get it. And yes, it's overwhelming, but my God, what a great overwhelming when you're there. Now it's my turn. Is there anybody else who wants to say something before I go? Anybody else that went to EXPCon that wants to share something? I'll give you about 3 or 4 seconds to raise your hand or speak up. Otherwise, I'm going to talk about 2 things: listings and luxury. All right. So let's start with luxury, just because that's fun. Now, everybody out there is going, well, I'm not a luxury agent. I don't have luxury. I talked to a bunch of luxury agents, and every one of them, to the last one, said one thing. This guy is absolutely amazing, by the way. Little unassuming gentleman. I mean, when I say little, literally, he's like 5'2", and he's a luxury agent he came from nothing, was like literally, I believe he's from Mexican and heritage, and came in here with nothing, the family of 9 or 10 children, talked about what he was doing. But I met him. He was actually gambling, and I went up and I thanked him for being so transparent. And he got off his table. I'm pretty sure I ruined a good streak for him, and spent 10 minutes having a conversation with me. Do you see how he doesn't know who I am? I'm Adam. He doesn't know who I am at all. But I had a conversation and you say, well, listen, here's my card. You call me if you have any questions, and don't ever forget the most important thing about being a luxury agent, exactly what I said when I was going to be a luxury agent was, I'm a luxury agent, just like that. Now, being a luxury agent means you need to know all about what's going on with luxury. And there's a lot going on for luxury. You definitely need to get certified, of course, because there are a lot of tools, what we do. But imagine every one of you, and it does take around 3 to 4 days for that whole system, the software to come up. If you don't know about luxury, and here's the cool part, a lot of people across this country live in an area where $1 million home is going to happen pretty quickly. But don't go anywhere, because I'm going to talk about listings and how to make sure that you capture a higher percentage of listings. And for you that haven't done listings yet, you want to hear this next part. But in our luxury platform, we've gotten Sotheby's, Engel & Volker, Coldwell Banker Luxury, Berkshire Hathaway Luxury, all the KW Luxury. Every one of those agents, those top luxury agents, work with us. Everything that they do, we do better. Imagine being able to tell your client that they're going to be in the Robb Report. They're going to be in, I don't remember all of them because I'm still kind of learning on what this is. So let me see if I can read them real quick. There's an explanation for it. I'm going to probably photograph this, and I'll be able to put this somewhere where we can all get to it. If y'all stick around, I'll probably try and scan this, and then I'll send it to, and I'll put it in the chat. The thing is, our luxury program is better than everybody else's. Do I know how to use it? Not yet, but I'm getting certified in it. You know why? Because I'm going to take luxury, because hear this part, I'm a luxury agent, and our luxury platform, what we do to market a home, what we do that happens automatically for you and is included in the luxury cost. Being a luxury agent, by the way, the cost is $2,500 a year to be a luxury agent. And you can, I think, say $500 on there. You have to get certified. But imagine one listing that is $1.2 million or $2 million, pays for everything. And you can have up to 10 listings and it doesn't cost a penny more. And your listings will go in the Robb Report. They will go in all the different luxury paraphernalia magazines, period. We have a stronger luxury presence and a luxury platform and luxury support for that than any other brokerage out there, because we've taken everything the other brokerages do and we've made it better. So the question I have to you, and I'm not talking to everybody that's on the phone, by shaking your head, that means yes. By shaking your head, that means no, or not saying anything is no. Are you now a luxury agent? If you think it, you are. And we can support it at a level unparalleled by any place else. That's what I took. I spent a lot of time and energy focusing on luxury, and I was blown away. And as we talked about, as Crystal just said, by walking up to somebody, everybody said the same thing. Walking up to somebody and having a conversation, he goes, call me anytime. I'm here to help. And the thing is, he is, and he's there for you. And all you got to do is reach out. But imagine, you're calling somebody about a luxury listing you're taking. I would advise you not to call somebody in your own city. Just throwing that out there. That probably isn't the best scenario. But so I live in Orlando. But what if I called somebody in Dallas and said, I got one coming. I've got a great luxury agent. Say, listen, I've got one coming. I really need some help. I really need to know what to do. Once you get certified, you're there. You are luxury agents. Don't kid yourself. We are better than every single company out there. We have more tools, more platforms. Now, the next thing I want to share from you, whether you go on listing appointments or not go on listing appointments. And by the way, I have to say this because we've got a lot of really powerful groups. This isn't licensed to override what your team, what your group is doing. But if you're an individual agent or something like that, we have a tool that is a very powerful tool. And at some point in the very near future, I'm going to give a presentation on how to use it. First things first, I'll share it with you. I'm going to give you an overview. For anybody that knows about LPT, LPT is a real estate brokerage that's out there. Prior to that brokerage, the founder of it, a gentleman named Robert Palmer, brilliant man, put together this listing box, which has all sorts of marketing paraphernalia. Well, we decided, rightly so, because R&D is what we do in EXP and real estate as a general, that it was such a good platform. And it is. It's always been a great idea that he put together. I love it. Well, EXP has their own version of it. I'm going to show you how to walk into a listing. Take this with you when you walk in, set it on the table, and don't talk about it. Just let it sit there. And go through your walkthrough, go through everything else, talk to them about what their needs analysis is, and have that conversation. I'm going to show you how to use this box and have this box close the listing appointment for you. And it happens because curiosity and need to know drives everybody nuts. What's in the box? Oh, that just covers a little tiny bit of the marketing, but we'll get to that later. Oh, I need to know what's in it. I must know. I have to know. You're talking to me about prices, but I want to know what's in the box. It works every time. Hang tight. Awesome. My dog just got sick. Sorry about that, guys. Oh, shit. I'm going to have to cut this one short, leave it to everybody else because my puppy comes first. Thing is, though, we're going to cover this listing presentation kit, which you now have access to. It does come with like an $89 fee, but that's for the box. It's shipped to you. Everything's in it, and you can use it over and over and over and over and over and over again. I will do more on this, but now you've got a tool that'll, you can literally go to listing presentation. You don't have to think about creating it, and it will create massive power for you. That I can assure you. And with that, hold on, reminder to all, should do this, should do that, takes you nowhere, get it done. Oh, Ariel, basically stop procrastinating, pick something we just covered and get into it. Please, you guys are great. You don't know how great you are. We do. Actions speak louder than anything else. And there are people out there that want to help you. Find them, talk to them, tell them they're great, and you're modeling after them. You'll be amazed what you can do. That being said, I turn it over to Tiffany. I'm going to go clean up vomit from my puppy. I love you guys. Remember, go out there, tell somebody you love them, tell them they're important, that they matter. Scotch, you matter. And let them know that their life is important as well. This is a very trying time in the world. God bless you all. And don't forget, you guys are awesome. And you are my energy. I love you all. Have a great day. Tiffany, all yours.